There wasn't any opportunity to worship as you chose. That's why Whitefield didn't go preach in the churches. He had to do it out in the fields. And that's what our founders were trying to guard against. They knew what would happen when a state said, hey, wait a minute, we have these people who will listen to anything because they're stupid, I guess, and they'll just listen to whatever their pastor says. So if we can just co-opt the state, then we can get them to do anything. That's what they were guarding against. Almost like what's happening with social justice and the progressives. Now, the worst example of this in the last century is probably the best example of what a state interfering into religion can do. When Hitler came to power in Germany, he knew his deception of the German people would never be complete without using religion. And that's exactly what he did. Hitler learned propaganda from the Wilson administration. Well, one of the things the Wilson administration and progressives did at the time was they knew they had to destroy our faith. They knew they needed to get social justice in there. Eventually, both through deception and intimidation, church and state merged to the point where the pictures of Hitler rested on the altars of the churches throughout Germany. They took the crosses down and put him up. The state had infiltrated and infected the church. Now, co-opting of religion by government is extraordinarily dangerous. And Kitty Worthman is here. She grew up in Austria under Hitler and warns Americans today of the dangers of giving up our freedom. Yes. As you were on the plane, what was the one thing that you said to yourself, I have to have the American people hear this? What was it?
We elected Hitler in Austria by 98% of the vote by means of the ballot box. The first thing what Hitler did, he gave us free radios. Then he nationalized the radio stations. And if you listen to a foreign radio station, there was death penalty. You did not turn on BBC or Switzerland. Then he looted the Jewish banks. And then he nationalized the banks. Then he nationalized our only car industry. Austria produced a little car, a little bit bigger than a Fiat.
I think we know where you're going. Does this keep you up at night?
Yes, sometimes it does. Then he nationalized education, and that literally happened overnight. When I walked into my classroom and the crucifix was gone. Then he nationalized health care. We had excellent health care in Austria before Hitler. My brother-in-law would tell me it was like practicing medicine on a conveyor belt. Everybody rushed to the doctor for everything and anything. Many, many doctors left the country, including my own husband.
Okay, I have to take a break.